Hi, it's Simon, and it's Eye Candy Day. Today, I want to give you a tour of the most beautiful, premium and functional home office accessories I've been using that I just can't help but love. And if you are a Mac user like me, it's fair to say that you are also a fan of good design. And I think finding items that fit into your life with that pleasing combination of form and function goes a long way. So whether you want to watch for some desk setup eye candy or to add some premium joy into your daily life, check out these 10 beautifully designed desk accessories from beautiful tools from Hoto, gorgeous productivity accessories, and a first look at a new prototype from CharJenPro for you iPad users. Thank you to DeltaHub for sponsoring this video, but more on them and a great example of form and function in harmony in a bit. Hasami Porcelain and Aeropress Joy. Cheers. What am I doing? Okay, before I start work at my desk, I'm making myself some coffee. Yes, cliched, I know, productivity, YouTube, but I do love coffee. And this is possibly the most beautiful coffee mug I've ever had the pleasure of using. Hasami Porcelain, out of Hasami, Japan, make this, and they've been perfecting their tableware for 400 years, resulting in some beautiful pieces of design that fit together seamlessly. For a mug, it's not cheap, but you are investing very much in the object and design as much as the cup. It's a keeper. Put it like this, I've not drunk from anything else since. Feeling the slightly rough texture of this natural porcelain is really lovely, and Hasami make a great range of perfectly shaped items that fit together seamlessly. Yep, it's not for everyone, but if you want to add a little something to your morning brew, combine this with an Aeropress, my favourite value way to make a cup of coffee, and I think you have a perfect, simple coffee station for starting the day with. Next up, I'm going to look at my to-do list and get started. Analog by Ugmonk. Now, Ugmonk recently sent me their much-loved analog simple productivity system. It's a kind of day, week, year planner, and it's a beautiful bit of desk kit keeping you on top of your to-do list. In fact, you could put it in your bag and travel with it. So whilst I use Notion and my Second Brain Life OS template to manage everything, this is a great tool to pair with it, to use at the start of the day, lay out the tasks, and just sit it next to my computer so I don't always have to be distracted by jumping between apps. It includes this holder in maple or walnut, rather beautifully done, with packs of cards including today cards, next cards, and someday cards, all nicely color-coded and looking very good. And you can use these in different ways. So I tend to use the next cards as project cards and then lay the tasks into the today card for the day as I go, storing the completed cards and projects either side of the metal divider. The someday card is good for bucket list items or longer term ideas for maybe 3 or more months away, and they just sit nicely on that divider. Plus they've got a really lovely kind of signaling system for labeling how tasks are intended, if they're in progress, that kind of thing. You can check this out via my link in the description if you fancy one, and make sure to watch my full recent video guide on the 5-step planning process I use, so you'll get a bit more of an insight into why I think this system is so good and lovely to use. Pairing this and the process with a Notion Second Brain was genuinely the only system that finally got me organised. While we're on paper and pens, I've been using Muji and Moleskin for years. I'm a Muji Moleskin guy. I've noticed a lot of friends and colleagues as well have followed suit when they borrowed my pen off me. These Muji 0.5 gel pens are great, affordable, and if you're a paper person and maybe don't want to stretch fully to an analog system from Ugmonk, or even want something to go with it, which I use this to travel with. It's a Moleskin Pro. It's really small, and it actually has a kind of similar setup to the analog, so it kind of joins up nicely. It's a great portable notebook for task management and taking quick notes. I really like it, so check out Muji and Moleskin. This was a nice little Christmas gift that's now making a star appearance in my backpack. For when you are at the computer putting the hours in, I think this little beauty from today's sponsor DeltaHub could be the perfect definition of form and function in harmony. It's the Carpio 2.0. So it's the second iterations of this, and if you use a mouse and a keyboard throughout the day, this simple gadget has been proven to protect your wrists and keep you moving without as many issues. I really love the simplicity and idea of this design and how easy it is to hide away when you aren't working. So look, it can feel a little bit strange when you first start using it, lining it up, feeling it there. but the more I've spent time with it, the more I'm convinced that this really is a better or even a best option for looking after your wrists and avoiding that dreaded carpal tunnel syndrome. It's got some serious use case testimonials. It has adjusted my mouse movements, but in a good way, I think, and I'm finding I have less fatigue and aches, which is amazing. The Carpio comes in small and large, right and left, and in black, grey and white, so yeah, all good on the design front. I really rate DeltaHub as a company. They are clearly good people too. As they said in their rather fun emails to me, they create minimalistic and holistic solutions to make your workday easier. Nice. Keep an eye on the channel for another exciting thing I'm looking at with them soon. And grab Carpio 2.0 using my link in the description. It's the best few dollars to spend on your wrists and they'll thank you for it. Yeah, so thank you DeltaHub for sponsoring this video. This is a toolbox. Have you ever heard of Hoto tools? Ever since I've been looking into finding and designing a studio space, I realized I needed to invest in some proper tools to get things done. But I also wanted to find a small, usable electronic screwdriver to use when messing around with a growing mechanical keyboard hobby. And this beautiful set does the job beautifully. So I was really dubious at first, right? This minimalistic design tool set thing, it does seem a bit like a gimmick. I mean, it's beautiful, but a gimmick? Well, actually, I don't think so. The quality, power, and usability of these is actually right up there. I've got a big old Makita drill set, and this feels like it holds its own. I got this set for a steal in the January sales, and I love the way I can keep it on display, ready to use, because it just looks nice. This screwdriver is a real find, small and portable, but with stronger torque settings. It's a great option for both delicate or small tech work, like those keyboards, and bigger jobs, like building a YouTube studio. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. Check them out in the description. And while you're there, a sub to the channel would not screw things up. Ouch. Sorry. But do it. Next, Charlie and the CharJenPro team are at it again and have created this new update to what is my favorite iPad desk stand, the Magflott. I use it every day. So they just sent this over, the prototype for a new version. What I loved about the original was the beautiful design, high quality aluminium build, and the aesthetics that could be straight out of the Apple production line. In fact, I'm not actually sure how they got away with making it look like this. It's great. This prototype feels even better in its build and stability, but the most significant upgrade here is that it has the addition of a height adjustability, by far the most requested piece of feedback they got on the first models. I have to admit I had to put mine on a riser if I wanted to get the right eye line as a desk setup. Now, to go with the easy tilt and turn functions, you can align your iPad to your Mac for a great second monitor option as well that right looks like a Mini Pro XDR. If you mount your monitor on a third-party arm like I do, by the way, this is a very good low profile value and simple VESA mount arm from Vivo on Amazon if you're interested. Then CharJenPro has also created a VESA mount version of this for the iPad in this round of development. I really like the idea, and with a double VESA mount arm, it could be a great way to add your iPad to your desk setup. I'd say this VESA thing is pretty bespoke, but it's cool. I can't actually fit it on mine here, but it's cool. And while we're talking about iPads, I'm also loving my minimal iPad setup even more now that I've added my new minimal icon design pack to it. I've just launched it. Check it out in the link below. It is a full custom design set that works across iPad, iPhone, and even your Notion setup if you're using one of my Life OS templates. So get on bettercreating.com and go check it out. There's light and dark mode, tutorials to automate it on the channel, get involved with some minimal design. So speaking of icons, I've been an advocate for the Elgato Stream Deck for ages as my secret productivity tool. I use it to create custom shortcuts and control profiles for all of my key actions and apps, from video editing to Zoom calls and quickly inputting regular replies into emails. Elgato will help you go much further than that though, and they've also recently released this new version that includes some programmable dials. Definitely worth a look at if you are into automated workflows and making life a bit easier. These things can seem a little superfluous to start with, nice use of superfluous, but as a piece of tech, if you learn how to use it, I genuinely think it can improve your life no end. So check out my Stream Deck for productivity video below. And while you're there, a like button would go a long way too. And last, but very much not least, is one of my favourite items of last year, which is the Orbitkey Desk Mat. Check this thing out, it's really beautiful, genuine leather, if you're cool with that stuff, a document holder that sits underneath, and I particularly like these little magnetic cable guides, which are really kind of significant bits of machined aluminium, I think, that sit in this tray where you can put whatever you want. It's particularly good for an Apple Pencil because it magnetically sits in there. So yeah, that is a beautiful desk mat from Orbitkey. Check it out in the link in the description. I think it's rather good. Speaking of which, if you enjoyed this tour, I think you should watch this video next for some great Mac-friendly desk tech that I've been loving, including some gorgeous keyboards. Or watch this next for more ways to improve your work from home desk setup to really look after yourself. It would be awesome if you subscribed, amazing if you left a comment. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.